thank you so much for being here. You hear that. Trump angry over this anti-tariff ad put out by the government of Ontario. He says he's done. He's ending trade talks with Canada. What do you make of that? Does this help or hurt America in your view?
Oh, well, of course, it's going to hurt us. I mean, you can't throw tariffs around indiscriminately and then not negotiate because you're mad about a pushback from one of the countries that you're having a trade war with. Look, people are paying too much for groceries, for durable goods. Inflation is up from September, we're just seeing now, all because of Trump's tariff taxes on all of us. And it does have a negative effect on Americans. It has a negative effect on Canadians. So, the president needs to be more mature and go back to negotiations. But actually, he'd be better if he just took away this irresponsible use of tariffs that, quite honestly, Congress is supposed to have that responsibility. And let's get back to helping lower the costs for Americans.
And we were waiting to hear what Prime Minister Carney says about all this. If he addresses it, we will stand by for that. I do want to talk to you about a letter that you signed on to with several other Democratic congresspeople to the Trump administration, demanding answers about Donald Trump's demolition of the White House, the historic East Wing. What questions do you want answered?
Well, I serve on a committee on appropriations, a subcommittee that has oversight, and they have not come to us as you would expect they would. In fact, they did all the tearing down, and now they're going to get permission to build. You probably should get permission before you've tore down the East Wing. But for visual learners, this is what Donald Trump is doing to our democracy right now. He's tearing it down, and to see this so visually with the White House, again, without getting any permissions, without talking to anyone, is just, again, part of the frustration I think that the American people have with this administration. They really don't care about lowering costs. That's what they should be focused on. They should care about our healthcare costs about to soar because of the big ugly law. But instead, he wants to have Mar-a-Lago North, and he'll do anything to have it done. It's just his priorities couldn't be any more out of whack.
I want to ask you about something that one of your colleagues, Democratic House Minority Whip Catherine Clark, said. She's the second Democrat that Republicans are pouncing on because she used the word leverage to explain why she won't vote with Republicans right now to fund the government. Take a listen to this.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously. But it is one of the few leverage times we have.
No, you met with furloughed federal workers. I know you brought pizza to some of them. You've been talking to them. And while they're worrying about paying bills, are they okay with the term leverage being used, about being used as leverage in order to get health care subsidies?
Yeah, I think American people more than ever realize what value our federal employees provide, not just when you need help with Social Security or the IRS or all the things that are done by federal employees that affect our lives, but they're also saying we understand 15 million people are going to lose their health care, and everyone's going to have an increase in health care rates because of the big ugly law that just happened. And we are fighting to try to lower the costs of health care and make sure that people don't outright lose it for their families. So federal employees are working without paychecks or being furloughed and not getting paid. And they're the heroes. They're the ones saying, no, but this fight is important to have. And, Republicans can say whatever word they don't like or whatever. House Republicans haven't shut up for 5 weeks in Washington. If they were serious about negotiating anything, they wouldn't be drinking pina coladas in their basements, right? It's time to get back to Washington, D.C. and work. And we're not seeing that from the House Republicans. So honestly, anything they say is, the American people can tell it's pure BS.